They thought it was just another camping trip, laughs, stories, and the thrill of the wilderness. But deep in the heart of the forest, something ancient was watching. Not a bear, not a wolf, but something far more intelligent, far more terrifying. What began as innocent fun soon turned into a nightmarish game of survival. Footsteps where there shouldn't have been, guttural growls that pierced the silence. And then, the hunt began. This is the story of the night they came face to face with the forest's guardian and learned why some legends should never be tested. It started as a harmless road trip. 4 friends, Jake, Emily, Sarah, and Ryan, decided to spend a weekend camping deep in the remote Pine Ridge forest. The forest, steeped in local legends of a creature that protects its land, was exactly the thrill they wanted. Bigfoot's just a story, Jake had laughed as he loaded their gear. Nothing out there but squirrels and the occasional bear. Little did they know, the forest was about to prove them very, very wrong. They arrived at sunset, setting up camp in a small clearing surrounded by towering trees. As darkness fell, the firelight flickered and they shared stories. Ryan, the storyteller of the group, grinned as he leaned closer to the fire. "You guys ever hear about the Pine Ridge Guardian?" he asked, his voice low. "Oh, come on," Sarah said, rolling her eyes. "Another Bigfoot story?" "Not just Bigfoot," Ryan insisted. "They say it's the protector of this forest. It doesn't like outsiders, and if you stay too long, it makes sure you never leave." Emily laughed nervously. "Okay, Ryan, we get it. Creepy forest, angry monster, you're not scaring us." But as the night wore on, the forest itself seemed to join the story. The wind picked up, rustling the leaves. And then, the first sound came. A sharp, deliberate knock echoed through the trees. The laughter stopped. "Probably just a branch falling," Jake said, his voice betraying his uncertainty. But then came another knock. Closer this time, and then the sound of heavy footsteps crunching leaves in the darkness. Emily shone her flashlight into the trees, but the beam revealed nothing but shadows. "It's just an animal," she said, more to reassure herself than the others. But deep down, they all felt it, the unease, the sense of being watched. As the hours dragged on, the sounds grew louder. Heavy, deliberate footsteps circled the camp. Low, guttural growls sent chills down their spines. "Guys," Sarah whispered, clutching her flashlight. "I think we should leave." But the trail they had taken was now blocked. Large branches and debris had been deliberately placed, cutting off their path. This isn't normal," Ryan muttered, his voice trembling. And then it came, a roar so loud and primal that it shook the ground beneath them. The fire flickered violently, nearly extinguished by the force. A massive shadow darted between the trees, too fast to fully see, but large enough to be unmistakable. It wasn't a bear, it wasn't human. Emily screamed, "Run!" They scattered into the darkness, their flashlights bobbing wildly. The footsteps behind them grew louder, faster. The creature was hunting them, playing with them like prey. Jake and Sarah stumbled upon a cave, ducking inside to hide. They clung to each other, their breaths shallow. "Do you think it's still out there?" Sarah whispered. Before Jake could answer, a loud thud echoed at the cave entrance. Rocks began to fall as the creature clawed at the opening, trying to force its way in. Meanwhile, Emily and Ryan had climbed a tree, hoping to escape. But the creature wasn't giving up. It shook the tree violently, its guttural growls reverberating through the night. "What is this thing?" Emily cried, clinging to a branch. Ryan tried to distract it by throwing a burning branch from his backpack. For a moment, the creature hesitated, its glowing eyes locking onto the fire. But it wasn't enough. The beast was relentless. Back at the cave, Jake made a decision. He grabbed a large stick and started banging it against the rocks, yelling at the top of his lungs. "Over here!" he screamed. "Come and get me!" The creature turned its attention to Jake, leaving the others to escape. "Jake! No!" Sarah cried. But it was too late. Jake ran into the forest, the massive shadow chasing him into the darkness. When the first light of dawn crept through the trees, Emily, Ryan, and Sarah emerged from their hiding spots. They followed the faint glow of the sun, their legs trembling as they moved toward the edge of the forest. But Jake was nowhere to be found. The forest was silent, as if nothing had happened. Sound of Sarah gasping, noticing something carved into a tree, and then they saw it. At the edge of the trail, carved deep into the bark of a massive tree, were the words, "Stay out." They knew it wasn't just a warning. It was a promise. As they left the forest, the weight of what they'd experienced hung over them like a shadow. And as they drove away, none of them noticed the pair of glowing eyes watching from the tree line, waiting for the next visitors to test the legend.